In early 2022, there was a $1,500 prize pool for a tournament in the Gen 5ZU tier, one of the lowest tiers. Singles Pokemon is organized into a tier system based on how often a Pokemon is used. That way you can use your favorites in lower tiers against Pokemon of a similar power level. ZU is the lowest tier, below even the PU tier, and as you might imagine, not many people play Gen 5 ZU. But that's part of the magic. Any absurdly low tier always becomes a lovable meme. At the time, a Gen 5 ZU tournament was being held open to all, and people started donating a lot of money to the prize pool. The meme became bigger and bigger, and more people donated to the prize pool until it ballooned to over $1,500, the biggest prize pool in Smogon history at the time. With that much money on the line, there became an arms race to find the best, most overpowered strategies in the Gen 5 ZU tier. Dragonair was one of them. Before you continue though, make sure to subscribe, it helps out the channel a lot. Gen 5 ZU was a perfect storm for Dragonair. Generation 5 added Eviolite and the Fairy type did not exist yet. That meant Dragonair had a powerful Dragon Dance plus Outrage and was also incredibly tanky with Eviolite. Additionally, because of Shed Skin, it can use the move Rest and wake up to become a very threatening Pokemon. Ironically, Dragonair's typing could be argued to be better than Dragonite's because it had much fewer weaknesses. In fact, Dragonair's typing made it useful defensively too, and not just a one-dimensional Dragon Dance sweeper. For example, its Dragon type and Eviolite bulk let it handle Simisear, one of the most powerful Pokemon in the tier. While Dragonair was overshadowed by Fracture and other Dragon types in the higher tiers, in ZU, Dragon Dance, Outrage, Rest, Dragonair could sweep entire teams and it was too tanky to have a shot at one-hit KOing it. You could try using Roar from physically defensive Pokemon like Hippopotas, but that's only a temporary solution. Also less commonly, people use Dragon Tail on Dragonair for moves like Roar. Ice types like Walrein do better, but because there's no defog to remove hazards, only Rapid Spin, it's more difficult to keep Ice types healthy and away from Stealth Rock. Over time, Ice types get worn down very easily and they're shaky checks at best. Dragonair can keep resting and switching out to come back later and play the long game, but Ice types don't have that luxury. Steel types are usually a great way to deal with Dragon type Pokemon, but ironically, that's part of the reason why Dragonair is so good in ZU. Because the Steel type is so valuable, most good Steel types get used up in the higher tiers, leaving very few Steel types for the lower tiers. Dragonair had very few ZU Pokemon that could take it on, and when the player population exploded, more and more people realized how powerful it was. Initially, the standard was to use bulkier Rest, Sleep Talk, Marvel Scale movesets, but people realized that the magic was in the Shed Skin movesets and people started using more offensive Dragon Dance sets. In the same vein, people don't roll over that easily and people tried to attack with different Steel types like Lairon and Poniard. But all Dragonair did was adapt back by using Hidden Power Fighting. Even though it's a special move, it could fit on Dragon Dance Dragonair because it was 4 times super effective versus the common Steel types used against Dragonair. Dragonair was already difficult to beat, but Hidden Power Fighting meant that potential Steel type answers were unreliable. Ultimately, its moveset diversity, defensive typing, bulk with Eviolite and ability made it too much to handle for the ZU tier. Its Dragon Dance movesets were almost unstoppable, and Dragonair ended up getting banned mid-tournament. People tried using Shelgon, and while it did have Brick Break, it was slower than Dragonair and didn't have a good ability to help it out, and it wasn't as effective. The Dragonair saga was just one part of the 1500 Gen 5 ZU story. Do you want the full story? If this video gets 10,000 likes, then I know there's enough interest and I'll make a deep dive of the entire tournament.